How do I start a keto diet the easy way? You want to start a keto diet and lose weight, but you don't know where to begin. The benefits of the ketogenic diet are well documented, but it can be hard to stick with this eating style for long periods of time. We will go over how your body burns fat instead of carbs when in ketosis and why that is beneficial. Then we will talk about what foods you should eat on the keto diet and which ones you should avoid. Finally, we'll give some tips on how to make starting a keto diet easier for yourself. 1. What is the keto diet and how does it work? The ketogenic, keto diet is an eating style that focuses on certain foods and macronutrients to achieve a specific goal: burn fat for energy instead of carbs. Most people eat a third of their calories from carbs, about half from protein, and the remaining 20% or so from fats. This is known as the standard American diet. When you switch to the keto diet, however, it's very different. You only eat 10% of your calories from carbs, 75% from fat, and the remaining 15% or so from protein. This is called a ketogenic state or nutritional ketosis. Why should I try a keto diet? On the keto diet, you're switching your body's source of energy from carbs to fats and ketones. This is known as a metabolic state called ketosis. When in ketosis, your body becomes incredibly efficient at burning fat for fuel and even releases stored fat when necessary. When this happens, your hunger and cravings for carbs will decrease and your energy levels should feel more consistent throughout the day. You're likely already aware of the long list of benefits that come with weight loss, but it's worth mentioning again. Weight loss and a decreased risk of certain diseases such as type 2 diabetes, heart disease, dementia, cancer, and many others. This is because weight loss often improves overall health and promotes a feeling of well-being. 3. What foods should I include on the keto diet? You can eat mostly whole, unprocessed foods on the keto diet: meat, red meat, poultry, fish, eggs and dairy, cheese, yogurt, nuts and seeds, vegetables, leafy greens, cruciferous veggies, low-carb fruits, and healthy fats, coconut oil, butter, avocado. The foods you should avoid on the keto diet are grains, bread, rice, pasta, sugar, soda or juices with added sugar, beans/legumes, potatoes and most fruits. You should also stay away from processed foods or those that are high in carbs. 4. How to start a keto diet the easy way. The ketogenic diet can be challenging for some people to get used to. You don't always feel great when you first start eating this way, mostly because carbs are so easy to overeat and many processed foods contain high amounts of carbs. On top of that, dietary restrictions can be uncomfortable for some people until they get the hang of it. If you've been wanting to try a keto diet, but have been putting it off because you don't know how to start, here are some tips for making the keto diet easier. 1. Take baby steps. Don't be too hard on yourself if the beginning of your keto diet is a little rough. It can take a while for your body to adjust and you might experience some side effects: fatigue, headaches, muscle cramps, and many others. Don't give up. If you know this is something you want to do long term, just start out with small changes. For example, instead of cutting out carbs entirely, try just reducing your intake to 30-50 grams per day for a few weeks. Then, gradually increase that number every couple of weeks until you feel comfortable with eating less than 50 carbs per day. Keep it simple. To make starting a keto diet easier, reduce the number of changes at once so you don't feel overwhelmed. If you want to get healthy and lose weight, there's no need to overhaul your entire life in one day. For example, instead of cutting out carbs, completely switch to whole grain bread and reduce the amount of white bread/pasta that you eat. Instead of giving up all dairy substitutes for low-fat cheese or yogurt. 3. Plan ahead. It can be pretty tough to go grocery shopping when it's the first time you've ever looked at a food label or tried to make sense of carbs, sugar, and all those confusing numbers. Get some help from someone who's familiar with the ketogenic diet, like your doctor, nutritionist, or personal trainer. When you go shopping with an idea of what to buy, it's much easier to stick to your budget, and you'll be less likely to fall off track when making healthy decisions become second nature. 4. Experiment at home. If you're worried about food choices at restaurants, take a look at this list of keto-friendly fast food items. If you start cooking for yourself at home, it will be much easier to stick to your keto diet goals because you'll know exactly what goes into your food and you won't have to rely on the judgment of others. That doesn't mean there aren't healthy options at restaurants, but sticking to a healthy diet can be even easier and more enjoyable when you don't have to rely on someone else's cooking skills. 5. Think long-term. Since the keto diet can be difficult for some people to get used to, it's best if you plan ahead and understand that sticking to a healthy lifestyle takes time. It might take a few weeks for your cravings to change and for your energy levels to balance out. You might not enjoy healthy food at first and there will be temptations in the beginning, but when you think about it in terms of months and years, that's really not that long. If you can make it through a few weeks or even a month down the track, you'll have so much more energy, clearer skin, and less physical discomfort. With the tips above, you can make starting a keto diet easier to handle, so what are you waiting for? 5. Common mistakes people make when starting out on a keto diet, and how to avoid them. 4 of the most common mistakes people tend to make when trying a keto diet are: 1. Not maintaining electrolyte balance. 2. Too much protein. 3. Eating too many calories. 4. Being undereducated about macros in general. 6. Tips for staying on track with your new lifestyle changes. Making changes to your diet is never easy. It takes time for the body to adjust and you might face some cravings along the way. But if you want this lifestyle change to become long-term, you'll need to plan ahead and make sure you're doing it right. It can also be helpful to get advice from an experienced keto dieter and to share your experiences with others who are in the same position as you. Keto-friendly groups on social media can be a great place to ask questions and learn from other people's mistakes. It might just help you avoid falling into any of these traps. Conclusion: to get started, try making some healthy changes in your diet gradually. That way you're more likely to stick with it for longer instead of failing at 1 or 2 goals that were too hard or too much pressure. If you want to lose weight, consider working with a nutritionist or personal trainer who can help you set up healthier habits and monitor your progress along the way. If you want to avoid the most common mistakes people make when starting out on a keto diet, consider reading the article from above. If you want to stay on track with your new lifestyle changes, consider asking for support from friends and family members or joining a support group on social media. Good luck!